Well, folks, let me tell you something. I've seen a lot in my time, but what I'm seeing today, it's got me wondering what the hell happened to this country. You talk about being strong men? Real strength ain't about knocking others down or making folks feel small. Strength is standing tall when the chips are down, helping those who need it, and doing what's right, even when it's hard. A man who bullies or tears people down ain't strong, he's weak. The toughest men I ever knew didn't have to prove it. They showed it through their grit and their fairness. Now we fought a war to crush Nazis and their hate-filled garbage. Good men died to put an end to that evil, and here we are letting those same hateful ideas creep back in. If you're riding with hate, you're spitting on the graves of every soldier who fought for freedom. That ain't America. That's a betrayal of everything we stand for. And this business of selling Bibles with a politician's name on 'em, that burns me up. The good book ain't a prop for campaigning or a way to make a quick buck. Faith is about love, compassion, and humility, not about turning a profit. If you're using the Bible to line your pockets or boost your brand, you're about as low as it gets. Let's talk about immigrants. This country was built by immigrants. Irish, Italian, Chinese, Mexican, you name it. It don't matter where you came from, it matters what you do when you get here. The good book tells us to welcome the stranger, not demand their papers. If you call yourself faithful, act like it. Turning your back on people looking for a better life isn't just un-American, it's un-Christian. And I gotta ask, why is it that folks like Elon Musk, an immigrant himself, are telling us to kick out the very people who do the hard work in this country? You ever notice it's the same elites making money off cheap labor who yell the loudest about immigration? It ain't about protecting America, it's about protecting their wallets. Hate over love, and the taxpayers are stuck footing the bill. Speaking of bills, you know the American Families Act. That would have put $8 trillion into helping families with child care, health care, and education. But instead, we're blowing $5 billion on deportation and detention centers. And for what? To profit the wealthy while stirring up fear and hate. Meanwhile, we've got folks sleeping under the stars, and instead of helping them, we're throwing them in jail. Homelessness, something we created, is now a crime. This incarceration nation we're building, it's just another way for the elites to profit while the rest of us pay the price. And let's talk about Social Security. The elites keep saying we need to cut it, but they don't tell you the truth. Amnesty for immigrants could fix it. Millions of folks working in the shadows would contribute to the system if we let them. That's more money coming in, more stability for retirees, and a stronger America. Amnesty ain't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. But instead, they'd rather cut benefits and hurt the people who've worked hard all their lives. And let's not forget the hypocrisy. Melania Trump worked in this country without proper papers, but she gets a pass. Meanwhile, they're screaming about undocumented immigrants and demanding they be kicked out. If you're going to talk about law and order, you'd better apply it to everyone. This do as I say, not as I do. Nonsense has no place in the land of the free. And here's another thing. If you've never done an honest day of manual labor in your life, you got no business telling those of us who have who to follow. Men who labor, who sweat, ache, and work to survive shouldn't be taking advice from elites who've never felt a callus on their hands and never will. We don't need to learn about grit and sacrifice from folks who've never lived it. Here's the deal, folks, America ain't supposed to cater to the wealthy elite. It's a place where the farmer, the factory worker, and the waitress are just as important as the man in the penthouse. We've lost sight of that, and it's high time we get back to helping the folks who make this country what it is, not just the ones who profit from it. So, if you want to call yourself a strong man, prove it. Be a man of virtue, a man of character. Stand up for what's right. Protect the vulnerable. Speak the truth. And for God's sake, make this country better for everyone, not just for yourself. That's what true grit looks like. That's what America is supposed to be.